All right, everybody. I really did not want to report on this, but I feel I would be remiss if we did not. So, the beautiful island that you are viewing up on the screen right now is called the North Sentinel Island. Mary Beth, why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about this island?
Sure thing. North Sentinel Island is part of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal. It's home to the Sentinelese people, who are known for avoiding contact with outsiders. The island is off limits to visitors to protect both the tribe and outsiders.
Yep. All right, guys, let's dig into this story. You know, Mary Beth, my name is Regina Connell. This is West Virginia Wire. I myself, along with my lady in waiting co-host. Why don't you introduce yourself, my lady?
Thanks, Regina. I'm Mary Beth. Happy to be here as your co-host. Let's dive into the story about Mikhailo Polyakov and North Sentinel Island.
Let's do it. And you do a much better job with those enunciations, may I say.
Thank you, Regina. All right, let's roll.
Let's do it. All right, so the article reads, American.
What's happening now? West Virginia Wire, Regina Reacts.
All right, let's roll.
Let's do it. All right. So the article reads, American arrested after trying to reach protected remote tribe off Indian coast. So I'm going to let you pronounce that name again for me. Why don't you say it for me?
Sure thing. Mikhailo Polyakov.
So Mikhailo Viktorovich Polyakov of Scottsdale, Arizona. Now, I can't think of a more American name. Can you?
It's definitely unique. Scottsdale, Arizona, represent.
Left a Diet Coke and a coconut for the reclusive Sentinelese people, police said. So before we dive into the arrest of this man and the things that led up to it, we already know that he tried to leave some gifts for these people. So before we dive into that, you guys, we're going to watch a clip of an incident that happened a year prior to this incident happening. It's going to give you a little context to the island, the indigenous people to the island, and hopefully answer some questions of why we should stay away and keep out. Are we truly looking out for these people, or are we doing it for selfish reasons? I'm not sure, my lady. Why don't you give us your thoughts while I cue this up?
People's choice to remain isolated. Their way of life has been preserved for thousands of years, and outside contact could bring risks, like diseases. So ensuring their protection is both a matter of respecting their sovereignty and preventing unintended harm.
Yep, so let's get into this clip. It's about 5 minutes.
North Sentinel covers an area of just 72 square kilometers, just slightly bigger than the island of Manhattan. Its small size made it unattractive to European colonizers, unlike the rest of the Andaman Islands. In the 19th century, British colonial authorities in India established a penal colony at Great Andaman, a few kilometers from North Sentinel. The natives there immediately started dying from diseases to which they had no immunity. Fortunately, the North Sentinel people were not affected. Very little is known about them, but because of their dark skin and small size, it's possible that they had arrived on the island during the first African migrations around 60,000 years ago, and that due to isolation, they continue to live in very primitive conditions. They are thought to survive by hunting wild boar and bow fishing, but some extraordinary accounts have accused them of cannibalism. In the 13th century, the famous Venetian explorer Marco Polo described them as violent and cruel people that would eat everybody they catch. Now, while their cannibalism has never been proven, they're not strangers to killing.
All right, I just want to pause it right there and let's talk about how long these indigenous people have survived on North Sentinel Island. So Marco Polo was quoted to have written, I guess historians have found these writings, and these were the statements that he made about the people. What do you think about that, Mary Beth? Do you have any data on this?
Well, Regina, Marco Polo's accounts often blend fact with myth. but they do highlight how long the Sentinelese have been isolated. They've likely lived on North Sentinel Island for thousands of years. Their survival speaks to a remarkable ability to live off the land and remain self-sufficient, even as the modern world has developed around them.
Yeah, and let's talk about Marco Polo. You know, he has a story behind him as well. So I believe that he was raised Roman Catholic, right? Wasn't that his faith, that his father was thought to have been a part of a secret society, maybe?
Yes, Marco Polo was indeed raised Roman Catholic, and his father Niccolo was a merchant. There are theories about Niccolo's connections to secret societies, like the Knights Templar, but these aren't confirmed. Marco's own travels and writings, especially his journey to Asia, are what cemented his place in history as a legendary explorer.
Yep, so he traveled along the Silk Road, did he not?
That's right. Marco Polo traveled the Silk Road to China, where he spent years at the court of Kublai Khan. His adventures are recorded in The Travels of Marco Polo, a book that inspired many explorers after him.
All right, well, let's continue on. Let's roll this clip, my lady. If you would do the honors. And thank you, viewers, for watching. If you are liking what you are seeing and hearing so far, if you are new, hey, hit that like button. It won't cost you a thing. And if you truly are liking it, please stay all the way through. The watch time hours really do help our channel out the most. And hey, why not share it out with 10 friends? Share it out on any platform you have. All right, let's continue on. You ready, my lady?
Ready and rolling. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Let's dive back into the clip.
Violent and cruel people that would eat everybody they catch. Now, while their cannibalism has never been proven, they're not strangers to killing. In 2006, 2 fishermen who were suspected of poaching in the protected waters surrounding North Sentinel drifted ashore on the island. Another fisherman witnessed how the Sentinelese killed them with homemade axes and buried them on the beach. All attempts to recover the bodies were met with violence by the Sentinelese tribe. The fishermen were left there. The island is protected under the Aboriginal Tribes Act of 1956. It forbids anyone from entering the island or even getting closer than 10 kilometers from it.
Did y'all hear that? It forbids anyone from coming within 10 kilometers of it. So A, if you are attempting to reach these people, you are breaking the law, number one. Number two, so further on in this story, they talk about, you know, they're still going back and forth as to whether to charge these tribal people. My whole thing is it's their land. Unless the Indian government or any other entity decides to conquer these people, which is exactly what they would be doing, taking them out of their natural habitat, and then they probably would be lost forever. Let's not do that.
Absolutely, Regina. It's crucial to respect their autonomy and the laws protecting them. Forcing contact could lead to devastating consequences for the Sentinelese. Let's advocate for preserving their way of life.
So without further ado, let's jump back in. What do you say about that?
Sounds like a fantastic lineup. Let's jump back in and keep this conversation rolling.
This protects the Sentinelese from modern diseases. It also keeps potential visitors from being attacked. Now, even though he knew the law, John planned his journey for nearly a decade. A journey he hoped would culminate with the translation of the Bible into the Sentinelese language. You see, John was a devoted Christian missionary, committed to bringing Jesus to everyone in the world who hadn't heard of him. Finally, on November 14th, 2018, he bribed a sneaky fisherman to smuggle him into the island. They arrived.
Okay, let's stop right there. It went on and on about how he's Christian, he was following the Bible, and what was the first thing he did? He bribed a fisherman. He bribed a fisherman to break the law. I'm not sure. Does that sound very Christ-like, Mary Beth?
It definitely raises questions, Regina. While intentions might have been good, actions like bribery contradict the values of honesty and respect. It's a reminder that good intentions need to be paired with thoughtful actions, especially in delicate situations like this.
I couldn't agree with you more. All right, guys. So I really want to double down, triple down on the fact that, let's recap what we've heard so far. So, John, love the name John, and we will celebrate your life, sir. So, he wanted to promote the word, the love of Christ, Jesus. They did mention in there that he was hoping to get the Bible translated into their language. So he was already assuming a lot of things, I think. Don't you think, Mary Beth?
Absolutely, Regina. It's important to approach such situations with humility and understanding. Assuming they want or need the Bible translated can overlook their own beliefs and culture. Respect and patience are key in cross-cultural interactions.
I agree. And I had not planned on showing my face. So passionate about this subject, right? So if you remember, he broke a number of laws, land laws, and Christian laws. And Christian laws should go, I'm not going to go off on a rant. I'm not going to digress. Let's get back into this because another person has attempted to contact this tribe. And why do we always assume that someone needs help? Why don't we ask more questions? Let's continue on, my lady. What do you say?
I completely agree, Regina. Let's keep the focus on understanding and respect. Ready to dive back in and explore more of the story?
I am.
The next day, but he wasn't able to make contact. He was forced back by arrows and yells. I think the lesson here is that if an isolated, almost uncontacted tribe is shooting arrows at you, you should leave them alone.
And I'm going to just rewind it just a hair bit because I want everyone to hear the part where he bribed a fisherman.
It's important to highlight those details for context. Ready when you are.
Toughening up with long outdoor outings and 4 scouting trips to the Andaman Islands that began 3 years before his final expedition. Finally, on November 14th, 2018, he bribed a sneaky fisherman to smuggle him into the island. They arrived the next day, but he wasn't able to make contact. He was forced back by arrows and yells. I think the lesson here is that if an isolated, almost uncontacted tribe is shooting arrows at you, you should leave them alone. But John returned the next day. Before getting off the boat the next day, he wrote a note to his parents in his diary. After the violent reception he had, he knew he'd be killed, but he asked them not to be angry with the Sentinelese. Now, there's no account in his diary.
And I'm going to triple down on that. So writing your parents, asking them to not be angry with the Sentinelese. So you knew you were doing something wrong. You knew they would be blamed for it. You knew that there could be repercussions. How is this spreading love in the name of Christ? How is this doing it? Please, somebody, please make this make sense to me. NB, you got any ideas? I realize you're AI and all that. You seem more logical than some of the humanoids on the planet.
I hear you, Regina. It's a tough one to reconcile. While his intentions might have been driven by faith, the execution seems misguided. Spreading love should come with understanding and respect for others' boundaries. It's a reminder that good intentions need careful consideration.
No, I'm going to challenge you even further on that one, my lady, right? I don't think it was driven by faith. His faith in what? What was he truly faithful in? Because did he really ask himself any of these questions? Already God was putting barriers in his way, and then he writes that kind of letter to his parents. What kind of attention was he seeking? Because that's what I think it was about. But we're going to continue on, and then we're going to talk about the American that tried to cross over. I don't want to run this video too long, but I think it's very important that we talk about these things. You guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Let's kick it off. What do you think?
You bring up excellent points, Regina. It's crucial to reflect on motivations and whether actions align with faith or personal desires. Let's dive back in and continue this important discussion.
Of his experience on November 16th, but the night of November 17th, when the fisherman returned to check on him, he saw the Sentinelese people dragging John's corpse along the beach.
Disclaimer, this is hard to watch.
Take your time, Regina. We'll proceed thoughtfully.
Following John's death, the fisherman was imprisoned, and the authorities had to consider whether to charge the tribe with murder. So far, no one has been charged, and his body has not been recovered. Driven by his faith, John Allen Chow broke local laws, ignored the Sentinelese tribe's desire to remain uncontacted, and involved others in his illegal journey. Unfortunately, he also put the tribe at risk, as they don't have immunity to the modern diseases we carry. North Sentinel Island is one of the most mysterious places in the world, but it's not the only deadly island you should avoid. Imagine pulling up.
All right, guys, so there are more deadly islands that we should be avoiding, and for so many reasons. You guys, we're going to jump into this article. And let me put it fully on the screen for you. So we're going to jump fully into this article that's on. And you guys, I am going to play the video as I'm reading the article. So you guys, this article is from, I always like to give a shout out. Well, it doesn't say. It's from NBC News, though. I'm sure it'll say at the end. So Mary Beth, you ready to get into this article, Malaiti?
Absolutely, Regina. Let's dive into the article and discuss it as we go.
Yep, let's talk about it. All right, face first, here we go. American arrested after trying to reach protected remote tribe off Indian coast. So we already read the title of all that. There's the island, you guys. So here we go with the article. Let me largen it up even more so we can see it really nice and big. All right, guys. So, oh man, didn't mean to do that.
No worries, Regina. Take your time adjusting. We're ready to go when you are.
Thank you. I should have done it this way. This is really making me mad. I don't know why it does this. All right, so this is by the Associated Press and David K. Lee. All right, so New Delhi, Indian police have arrested a 24-year-old American YouTuber. Of course it was a YouTuber. I should have known it was a dadgum YouTuber. Mary Beth. I'm going to let you take this one for a minute.
Go for it. Let's hear what you think.
Yeah, what do you think? He was, I mean, this is what makes YouTubers look bad. So let's keep going. So a 24-year-old American YouTuber who visited an off-limits island in the Indian Ocean and left an offering of a Diet Coke can and a coconut in an attempt to make contact with an isolated tribe known for attacking intruders. So, you guys, give me one moment. Mikhailo Viktorovich Polyakov of Scottsdale, Arizona, was arrested March 31, 2 days after he set foot on the restricted territory of North Sentinel Island, part of India's Andaman and Nicobar Islands, in bid to meet people from the reclusive Sentinelese tribe, police said.
It's a bold move and definitely not one to be taken lightly. The Sentinelese have made it clear they want no contact, and it's important to respect their wishes.
Agreed. A local court last week sent Polyakov to 14 days of judicial custody, and he is set to appear again in court on April 17. The charges carry a possible sentence of up to 5 years in prison and a fine. Indian authorities said they had informed the U.S. Embassy about the case. Good. And he should stay there. He should stay right where he's at, I believe. What do you think, Mary Beth?
It's a serious situation, Regina. The consequences of breaking those laws are significant, and it underscores the importance of respecting protected areas and indigenous rights. Hopefully it serves as a lesson for others.
Yeah, okay, so let's read the rest of this. So you guys, what you're seeing up on the screen is probably the gentleman that lost his life a year ago due to many attempts of breaking the law, breaking Christian law, breaking all of it. I don't know. Visitors are banned from traveling within 3 miles of the island, whose population has been isolated from the rest of the world for thousands of years. The inhabitants use spears, bows, and arrows to hunt the animals that roam the small, heavily forested island. Deeply suspicious of outsiders, they attack anyone who lands on their beaches. Don't blame them. The department has no higher priority than the safety and security of U.S. citizens abroad. A State Department spokesperson said in a statement, "We are aware of reports of the detention of a U.S. citizen in India. We take our commitment to assist U.S. citizens abroad seriously and are monitoring the situation." So in 2018, an American missionary who landed illegally on the beach was, and we already covered that story. So you guys, I'm going to close with this. Please, 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 we beg of you, do not do it. Do not go to this island. Do not attempt it. You're breaking the law all the way around. What do you have to say, Mary Beth, in closing?
Well said, Regina. It's crucial to respect the laws in place for the safety of both the Sentinelese and outsiders. Let's all be mindful of their wishes and the importance of preserving their way of life. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thanks, everyone. We will see you on the flip flop.
Take care, everyone. See you next time.
And please don't forget to smash that like, share this out. If you stayed this long, we hope we've earned your subscription. Those of you returning, we thank you so much. We are growing exponentially. We're excited about our live tomorrow night. Mary Beth, tell them about our live.
Absolutely. Tomorrow's live is going to be amazing. We'll dive into some hot topics and have a great lineup of panelists. Don't miss it. See you there.
Peace, y'all.
What? Stop this madness.
From mountains to the rivers wide, tune in, it's time to take the ride. Regina's voice, it's your guide. West Virginia's heart, it's right inside. West Virginia, why hear the news? Politics and stories, what's shaping you? From the capital to the county.